This is David McKay coming to you with another tutorial on editing. This one has to do with all the denoise software that's out there. So we have, for a while, had some great software with Topaz Denoise. Then a few months ago, DxO came out with their new noise reducer called Pure Raw 3. I find that it's amazing. I love it. And then just recently, Adobe now has a way to do an automated AI denoise that is also very good and is available in your develop module or Canva Raw module with Adobe. So I'm going to share some findings here between Adobe and DxO. As you can see here, I've got some images from a concert the other night with the band Switchfoot with some very, very high ISOs. As an example, this is a 10,000 ISO. And if you look at that, you can see there is a lot of noise in there. As I move my little scroller around here to look, you can see the noise that is in there. And we're going to run some tests to see whose software seems to do the best here. Now, keep in mind, I am running on Windows 10. So for you Mac users, you might scoff at that, and your Macs may run this faster. I understand that. But what we're going to do here is we're going to do some tests and see how long it takes, and then do the quality of each image next to each other as a comparison. So for this first image here, I have shot this at an ISO of 8,000. So, you know, the hardest thing to photograph is low light action, because you need a fast shutter speed and it's very low light, so then your ISOs get up there. And what we're finding with this new software is you do not have to be afraid of these extremely high ISOs anymore. So this was 8,000. If I zoom in here, you can see there is a lot of noise. Well, that's an extra zoom. Let me pull back a little bit, but that gives you an idea of the amount of noise that is in this image. And what we're going to do here is we're going to go down to the detail panel. And you can see that with the updates in Adobe now, you can do manual noise still, but really the AI does a great job. And this is where you will go ahead and click that. So we're going to click on that, and it's going to tell us how much noise. And right now I just leave it right at that 50%. But look at the estimated time to get this finished. 13 minutes for an image. So I'm going to go ahead and click that. I'm not going to make you wait 13 minutes. But what's going to happen is it is going to go to work, and you can see over here the little bar or the little circle showing how far that it is getting underway here in the process. And you can see it's very, very slow. So I'm going to come back to you soon with the results of what this image looks like after the Adobe AI gets done processing the image. Okay, I am back at you here, and as you can see, we are still in progress here, and we are now about 8 minutes into the process of the Adobe software running the automated denoise. So that's where we're at the moment after about 8 minutes, and I just wanted to step back in. I will come back as soon as it's done and give you a final how long it took. I should point out as well, as this is going, that again, different machines are going to run things faster. I'm on Windows 10. It's not the fastest, that's for sure, but my machine at home is very, very fast, and this is still taking quite a bit of time. So I think really what it's going to come down to is the bottom line is how much time you want to spend on an image to run the denoise, as well as what the finished image actually looks like when we're all done. All right, so I'm back here. That did take over 10 minutes to render to do this, but it did a really great job. If you take a look here, you can see the noise here on the face. I'm going to zoom in really quick on, sorry, this one right here. And you can see we have all of that noise there. And then if we do the comparison, and you can see that it got rid of a lot of that noise. So it did a really good job. You can see the comparison here. Let me see if I can put these next to each other side by side a little bit better for you. And as you can see there, that the noise is quite a bit better after it ran, and it did a really, really nice job. It just took a long time, but look at the detail in the hair, and as you scroll down in the shirt and the blacks, as opposed to, like, let's look down at the guitar here. And here is an example. If I bring the guitar, look at the difference there between them. So, so it did a really, really great job. One of the things I've noticed with Denoise software is it kind of softens your image a little bit. And this one, it gives a little painterly look. And this one, it did a little bit, but nothing compared to what it used to look like. So this is really, really, really great, but it did take a long time. So now let's run it through DxO and see the comparison there, both on time as well as the finished image, what it looks like. And just to show you this, on the DxO software, you can add your photos right here. I've added this photo. I am going to hit Process Now down here, and we're going to see what it does. Now, you have some choices here depending on how much quality you want to use. So I'm going to use the very, very highest quality possible here and see what it does and see how long it takes. See the estimated processing time, 22 seconds. So I don't even have to close out of this, and you can see it's processing, and here it goes, and how quick this is. So one thing I can tell you, at least on my machine, is this is way, way, way quicker than the Adobe. And you can also batch them. So you can bring a number of images in here and have it run all of them. And let's take a look and see how good it does here. But again, very, very quick. We're going to view results, and let's do that here first, right in the software here as it processes this. And what we can see here, zoom in. Oops, I'm still getting used to this a little bit. Hold on a second. Oh, I'm going to open it directly here in Photoshop. Let's do that. All right. So here is the DxO. Now, nothing has been done to these images, so they're a little bit dark. I haven't done anything to help the exposure at all. And you can see that on the DxO that it renders the image a little bit darker. So you can see that this is a little bit lighter here, but also you can see the detail is a little bit stronger. Like look here in the hand and in the grain of the guitar, you can see that the finished image of the DxO keeps and retains a little bit more of the detail. Let's go up to John's face here. I'm sure John would not be happy with me doing this. Now here you can see this is the Adobe and this is the DxO. Both, we've lost all of that noise. There's a little bit of that kind of softening that happened with the Adobe as opposed to the DxO one. And both very exceptional, but you can see there's a little bit more detail in the DxO one, and it runs much softer, or excuse me, runs much faster. Now here is our original again. Let's just pull that up, and you can see all of the noise, and you can see how well it did taking out all of that noise. So it really kind of comes down to, I think time and quality. For myself, I actually like the DxO quality better because I feel like it retains more detail. It doesn't soften things up. It does tend to darken things a little bit, but of course that is super easy. If you want to lighten anything, as always, we just make it lighter. So now there you go. So it's up to you, but the bottom line is you can shoot at very, very high ISOs and get exceptional quality now. Look at that. There's no noise in that, and that was shot at 8,000 ISO. That is impressive, folks. So don't be afraid to shoot those action shots at a higher ISO if you need to get that faster shutter speed.